Migraine long-term disability insurance claims, and the subjective medical evidence trap in your disability policy. There are many evidentiary traps in a migraine long-term disability claim. And I don't want you to make this mistake of thinking that just because your doctor diagnosed you with migraines and said that you're unable to work, that the carrier is going to FedEx you a check. It doesn't work that way. Disability carriers like to collect your premium gold, but when you apply for your benefits, they'll rule that you're not entitled to your disability benefits. Now, there are two issues in a migraine disability claim that I think every policyholder needs to consider. First, disability carriers often contest a migraine diagnosis because there's no gold standard test. The diagnosis is often one of elimination. Now, even if they agree with the migraine diagnosis, the next thing they will always question is the severity of your symptoms and whether or not your symptoms are disabling, as that term is defined in your policy. So before you stop work and apply for your benefits or appeal a wrongful denial of the claim, you really should understand how carriers question subjective medical evidence migraine claims. What is subjective evidence? Well, subjective evidence is just that. As I've said, there's no gold standard test in a migraine claim that the doctor can say, you have migraines. The doctor's looking for symptoms consistent with a diagnosis of migraines, but of course you may not have a migraine at the time of the examination, or you may have other symptoms that could be confused with migraines. Now, what happens, of course, is that the disability carrier is looking at these medical records to see what the basis of the diagnosis is. And as I've said, if they're satisfied that you have migraines, then they're going to contest the severity of these problems. You might have a headache, you might have eye pain, dizziness, nauseousness, vomiting, fatigue, problems with concentration. Not only can it be hard for your doctor to find objective evidence that supports the level of your complaints, but as I've said, there's no diagnostic studies that are going to support the severity of your claim. Now, group disability carriers like Cigna and Standard, and private disability insurance carriers like Unum or Northwestern will often disregard and even discount your subjective complaints in deciding to pay or even continue to pay or even terminate your disability insurance benefits. As a result, it's crucial that you have well-documented medical evidence, that you have statements of friends and family that will substantiate and quantify the nature, extent, and duration and frequency of your migraine symptoms. Now, I think that one of the things that you definitely should be doing is keeping what's called a migraine log. Why? Carriers use the one-size-fits-all analysis of these claims. Your level of pain, your discomfort, and your disability are personal to you. And I know that that can vary from day to day, week to week, and even month to month. This pain diary, headache diary, will allow you to quantify the symptoms that you have and discuss with you or discuss in this document how these symptoms impact your ability to function. Because it's one thing to have a headache, but it's another to have problems that impact your ability to function. You can even consider using video in appropriate cases. This is all important because the doctor is going to be asked to complete an attending physician statement form. Now, that form doesn't ask the right questions, and I always like to supplement these forms with what's called a Social Security Residual Functional Capacity migraine form. That asks the right questions, and as you look at this, you'll also see it's a good basis for how you complete your pain diary. Your doctor is going to probably be looking at this kind of information, or should look at this kind of information, to render an opinion about your restrictions and limitations. Now, the next tool in the carrier claim denial box is the subjective medical condition clause that is actually in some policies. So you need to get yours out and look to see what it has to say. This policy may say that medical conditions that are subjective in nature are characterized by pain, fatigue, headaches, problems concentrating, nauseousness, are by their very nature subjective and limited to just 2 years. Worse yet, there might be a policy provision in your policy that lists migraines as one of those conditions that are limited to just 2 years of benefits. So you need to understand that disability carriers are going to contest the subjective nature of the diagnosis, the subjective nature and severity of your symptoms and their impact on your ability to function. And they're going to be looking for reasons to limit the payment of your disability benefits. Learn more about your rights to your long-term disability benefits as a result of migraines by calling me at 727-894-3188. I can help you regardless of where you live in the United States.